What's up, everyone, and welcome to the 44th episode of the MMA Bourbon Appreciation Society. I am Jeremy Johnson, along with Jim Range and Craig Nasello, who is already hitting the pours tonight, which is always a good thing.
Gets better.
Yeah, absolutely it is. So we got some fun stuff tonight, though. 44 episodes. Can we take a minute, though, really, that we've, hit the thing now? I mean, we're really doing episodes, on the regular.
Yeah, this year we've really been every couple weeks, with one or two exceptions.
Yeah, not too bad. I mean,
when I was surgery and that.
Yeah, but there's no COVID going on anymore, really, and so that's always good because it never really existed. Anyway, though, so it's all fine. But no, tonight we're going to do our favorite segments, of course, the Sip, Sink, and Save, brought to you by Unrivaled Realty. I've got some interesting whiskey questions tonight, though, that were posed to me during the week. So
curveballs coming at us.
I'm kind of stoked about this one. And then we have a new segment tonight, and we are calling that Fresh Pours, where we are going to bring you stuff that you may not have heard of yet, that hasn't maybe hit the market that you're in, or maybe just something new that you haven't tried, but they're newer to the market. And so tonight that will be brought to you by Smart Distributors. Big thank you to them now for jumping in with us. So they're going to help us out with some bottles as we go forth. We've got some other ones already in the tank for this, though. The other thing is I've had people now who are sending us whiskey from other places. So we have one coming in now from, I want to say it was South Carolina, that they'll be sending some stuff into the show too for us to try.
We need to get one from Texas too. I need to hit that person up.
Well, the funny thing is, these are from Texas tonight. So
I want to touch on something real quick here.
Uh-oh.
Just real quick. Are you drinking water?
I've got the coffee.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
here we go.
I'm double fisting.
I'm just making sure that's water.
You're really drinking water?
Yeah. I got drinking your drink, and I'm also drinking my pours.
I don't know how to feel about
I just
this
have
right
to point
now.
that out. You see how he's got.
He does. He has a
I picked it up.
I can't say that today.
I feel like you might have been dishonest to the audience.
He's hiding it.
No.
You see he's hiding it?
Wow.
He's got a cough tonight.
Anyway, all right, let's get to it tonight. I was posed a pretty fun question, though, this week, and it kind of threw me back. And the question that I got from one of our listeners is, if you had one whiskey forever, meaning that you could not get any other bottle, what whiskey would it be? And so I wanted to pose that question to you tonight, guys, just to see what your thoughts are, because I was kind of amazed whenever Jim told me his, because I don't buy into it. So here's the parameters that was set to me with this. Basically, it's anything out there, but it is at current levels that you can get it. So if
that was not shared up front.
That was not. Yeah, that was not shared up front.
What would be if you only had one? What would it be?
There's always a gotcha to my question, so there you go.
Good thing I got a backup.
Gotcha.
So what it comes down
with
to
your bullshit
is, what would yours be at current levels of able to get products? What would your one time, or for the rest of eternity, whiskey be?
That really simplified it for me.
Did it?
Yes.
All right, well, then you can go first, Craig. Go for it.
Old Granddad.
Which one?
What?
114.
No,
Yep.
really?
I love Old Granddad. Always have.
Oh.
And I'm a Buffalo Trace person. I've literally got 5 bottles of Buffalo Trace at home.
God, he's a bigger hoarder than I am.
But I've got.
You got more backups than I do.
I've got. Well,
Old Granddad. You
actually got to think about it. It's readily available.
114's a little harder to get, but yes.
But I could even go down to the other.
The bottled and bond, or the straight, yeah.
You're right. So, because they're all kind of similar, but different.
Absolutely.
But it's cheap. You can find it anywhere. It's not like Buffalo Trace is hard to find.
Yep.
Buffalo Trace is hard to find.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. So, all right, very interesting. Going the Old Granddad 114. Jim Range, what are we thinking?
Well,
with the new parameters.
Well, no.
So the original
where you started.
So the original parameter before I was told, you got to go based on what's readily available.
Because mine was that.
Oh, you were going Heaven Hill 27? Yeah. You could find one bottle every 4 years.
Right,
there you go.
Right.
Drink real slow.
I was going to say CYPB, because between that and Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend, they could be a daily drinker for me. But with the parameters in place, Whistle Pig 10.
Okay.
Which aligns with my choice for
Jumping the
tonight.
rye. Okay. Yeah.
With rye tonight for our
Right.
Sips and Can Save.
All right. So, what about it though makes it that's going to be your forever drinker?
It's something I can drink year round. I enjoy. I don't get tired of it. It's a consistent release. The flavor profile is consistent with it.
Yeah.
I know what I'm getting when I grab a bottle.
Okay. All right. That's fair. All right. So, Jim, of course, being a little hoity-toity there with his Whistle Pig 10-year, can't throw a piggyback or a 6-year into it. It's got to be the 10-year, but that's okay.
But that was the standard forever.
It really
With
was.
Whistle Pig.
Yeah,
the
it was.
piggyback and the 6-year were afterthoughts.
That's fair. That's a fair statement.
That was to get
So,
more product.
Video stopped.
All right. That's fair. But, I don't know. And so far, the crowd is with you on drinking water. They think it makes you look like an adult. I like that. So, okay.
God
Mine,
forbid.
I went back and forth with a couple of these. But, in our group text message, Jim actually called mine out because mine would be Ancient Age. At $15 a bottle, it basically is 80 proof Blanton's, if you're going to get really down to what it is. And it is available everywhere. It is very inexpensive. It makes an amazing drink. I actually just added it to the rail of the bar. So
I think
yeah.
that was a great choice.
Yeah, so works out pretty well. I think producer DJ K-Pop came in with an interesting with the Angel's Envy. So she went a little higher end, but very, again, readily available. Producer Matt, what was your choice for your one bottle?
So before you change the rules, I was going to go with the birthday bourbon,
Really?
but
I would have never picked why. Why would that be?
it's so tasty. I mean,
Fair.
Okay. But
But-
it's so inconsistent per year. And you're only going
It
to
does vary
get
by
one
year.
bottle a year.
whatever we had last time, that was
Okay, fair.
phenomenal.
All right.
Which I need another bottle if you can find me one. I'm almost out.
Yeah, really. I'm
I'm
out
nursing
too.
that one right now.
I'm out too. It's kind
I
of rough.
mean, we are going somewhere, a different state this weekend.
We can
so-
look, so. All right, interesting. So then what is your choice?
Probably a Weller, like a, I don't know.
You're
DSR.
still going to go Weller.
Yeah.
So
Still hard to
even
find.
that Weller Special Reserve or the Antique
I
107?
bought 2 today.
Wait,
Wait, what?
Hold on.
Where were you that you bought 2 Wellers and didn't call the rest of us?
Exactly. That's what I was just thinking. I like how he.
Man, he's been doing this a lot
He
lately.
he texts us on some stupid shit, like dumb.
But he doesn't tell us the good shit.
Yeah, the good shit. Like, oh, hey, I found Weller. Like, do you
Just
guys
remember,
want
Mama
one?
Range, that was these two saying the naughty words. So, anyway, all right. Let us know, though, in the comments, what would be your pick for the last bottle that you could ever get and get it all the time? So let us know in the comments here or on our Instagram page at MMA Bourbon Society. But that was an interesting one. I think that we had some pretty decent choices. Other than, producer Matt, he's like all over here with his Weller that he can only get, he bought 2 bottles today and didn't tell the rest of us. So that's
Was that
fine.
because there's a 2-bottle limit?
Yeah.
Or that's all they had?
Did you buy them all out?
No.
Did you tell anybody else it was
Did you?
available?
Do you see how this is?
Mm-hmm.
Matt is not understanding the rules of how we work this game here, and I'm a
The
little.
rules of engagement have changed.
Yeah.
Wait till I find another band that he wants.
Oh.
Their whiskey or something.
Yeah,
I
completely.
bought 5 of them.
Oh, I bought 6 of them. Oh, yeah, no, sorry, didn't call you.
Wait till I find another CYPB or.
That's
Foolproof.
okay, Matt. It's okay.
all right.
We'll let it
I
slide.
thought we
this
were all
time.
on one team. Same team, baby. Same
one team, one dream.
Right,
One team,
that's
one
right.
dream. All right. Well, with that though, tonight again, like I said, let us know what would be your last bottle you could ever buy, and that would be the only one forever. Let us know in the comments. All right. Tonight, though, I am making a drink in honor of one Mr. Craig Nasello, who will be heading off to Hawaii.
Damn, it breaks
You
my heart.
lucky, lucky dog.
2 years running.
Oh. And what are you going to Hawaii for? Let us know.
Bellator MMA.
Yes, we
2
will.
shows. Friday and
We'll
Saturday
cover
night.
that.
Friday and Saturday night? I
Yes.
missed that part in the
Oh, yeah.
notes. So, that's awesome. So tonight I am going to be making what would be kind of a take on the Brown Derby. So the Brown Derby is a classic whiskey cocktail that's made with grapefruit juice and honey syrup. So instead of that tonight, though, I am going with pineapple juice because, Mr. Worldwide over here is heading off to
Prestige Worldwide, baby.
Hawaii for
Prestige
me. So,
Worldwide.
all right, we're gonna
Boats
start
in.
off tonight though with our
It's the Catalina wine mixer.
our fresh pours
Carolina
tonight are from Lukenbach Road Whiskey. So check them out on the web, Lukenbach Road Whiskey. You can also send a message via Instagram, and you can check that out in our links to Smart Distributors, and they can tell you where to get it here in St. Louis.
Is it via or via?
What's that?
Is it via or via?
Let's go with via. Via?
Via.
Via? Okay. All right. Via Smart Distributors. Check them out. It will be our fresh pour segment a little bit later on. But tonight, I am going to use it for a drink because I am really, really impressed with their straight bourbon whiskey to start us off.
So which
tonight.
one did you start with this today? Try the light. Did you, use
want-
it? Try
So
the
I
light
used the
because I need
bourbon in
a.
it.
I need a.
He needs to be top
So,
off.
I need top off.
All right, let's try with the light whiskey.
Let me
see
try
what
the
it does.
light this time.
All right.
I mean, it's good with that one.
It was. So what you're telling me is you want to drink this one.
I'm really enjoying it now.
Good.
Like the first time I drank it, it was like, eh.
All right. So we're going to start off with 2 ounces of Lukenbach light whiskey. And a little later on, we will go over what light whiskey actually means. Next, we are going to do 3/4 ounce of lime juice.
You know, Mama Range would probably like this too. She's
I think
watching.
Mama Range would love this one. Then we are going to throw in 3/4 of an ounce of honey syrup.
Did I see you having Mama Range do shots over the weekend?
Yeah, what's up with that? Mama Range was
Mama
hitting them.
Range? Huh? She's a bit easily influenced.
Then here is the
Fair
big one.
enough. I mean,
We're going 2 ounces of pineapple juice there, along with, like I said, the Lukenbach whiskey tonight. All right, we're going to give that a good shake.
Well, you don't get all the Range boys together and the grandkids.
fair.
Look at him
I'm
trying
going
to
to get you
show
a new one.
off.
No, it's the easiest now way to get them off.
Here we
Yours
go.
is a little sticky. All right, take that. Pour it over fresh ice or into Craig's glass, whichever it takes. And that is a pineapple brown derby in honor of Craig going to Bellator. Check it out with the Lukenbach Road whiskey. It's pretty damn tasty.
How's that one?
This one's even better.
It's a tasty drink, isn't it?
I think it
Yeah,
needs
it
a
is.
pineapple like
Garnish.
garnish.
Well, absolutely it does. I did not have time to stop and get one, but I made
There
enough
was one
for
on the
two.
counter
So
upstairs.
Excuses.
I know, always, but
Like
it's
assholes,
tasty.
everybody has
Check them
one.
out. Like I said, check out Smart Distributors, and they will tell you where it's at. But this tonight, I will put this in the comments on our Instagram page, so check them out at MMA Bourbon Society. I like this one. What do you think of it, Jim?
I liked it a lot.
I think it's even better. with-
Oh, you are not kidding. The light whiskey really makes that.
yeah.
That's a good
Yeah.
cocktail. Not
Like
gonna lie.
the first one made it like the citrus was a little heavy.
Okay.
That's where I'm at with it, but I still like
yeah,
it.
I still
Yeah.
like it, but the citrus was just a little bit heavy. I think putting that whiskey in there instead of the bourbon helped out the citruses.
I agree. I think it's very nice. We have a little pour of their rye here while we're waiting.
Both of those are 3-year.
Yeah, 3-year.
Three-year
And then I
whiskey,
want to say
three-year
the
bourbon. There's a
rye
2-year
is a
on the rye.
2-year. So, all right. We will
Getting
get
ahead of
into that
ourselves.
one, though. We are getting ahead of ourselves. But tonight, though, as we said, this is our next segment, and we're going to talk about those now. So it is called Fresh Pours, brought to you by Smart Distributors. Check them out at smartmissouri.com. They can point you in the right direction to get Lukenbach whiskey and all of their other products out there. So again, Lukenbach Road whiskey tonight. Let's talk about it, guys. So they brought us 3 bottles to try. And I find the funny thing is that when they brought us these bottles, they were full. And so far, we have now went through about 1/4 of the bourbon, almost
20%.
a quarter of the light whiskey, and we are now starting to tackle the rye here a little bit. So, Craig, give me your thoughts on these. What we're looking at here, though, is a new product to most markets. So it's an old family. It was a family brand, basically. Their great-grandfather owned a bar in the 1850s in Texas, and they've kind of jumped in now to the whiskey business. Their big thing, though, is that they are going farm to table. So they are working
Really?
with Texas A&M
Okay.
in order to grow the grains and cultivate the land.
Are they're doing this all in house then?
So this is going to be an in-house product,
Nice.
yes.
So okay. So my first thought is everybody knows I don't drink rye. I don't
Right.
like it. Not a big fan, and I'm not a pussy, Jimmy. I'm gonna say it out loud. Mama Range Jimmy called me a pussy.
I mean, fair.
Tattletale.
Yeah.
Snitches get stitches.
Yeah, I'm not scared. Kick you in your good
Continue,
pants.
please.
Anyway, everybody knows I'm not a rye fan. I did enjoy their rye.
Yeah.
It wasn't
It's-
overly hot.
No, it's not. I'm
it's-
actually having a pour of it right now.
It's
I'm
actually
getting
a
ready
little
to.
sweet in the front, but it doesn't have that huge burn. It has a little bit of burn, but not much. The light whiskey, at first, my first tasting, I didn't like it. But I think it was just coming off that rye, and
Right.
then, kind of got a little, didn't have a palate cleanser.
Right, exactly.
I've actually just drank a little bit more than plus it in the mix. The light whiskey is quite nice.
Yeah, it's
very easy sipping, very easy to drink, and actually turned the citrus drink into quite a hit.
Yeah. The cool thing that I like about it, so light whiskey has kind of become the new fad. And a lot of people even don't know what light whiskey is. I mean, we kind of talked about it. And
first time I've ever heard of it.
right. And so light whiskey basically doesn't really refer to the color of it. It refers to the fact that it's lighter in the congeals that is done because it is distilled to such a high proof. So bourbon going into a barrel can only be up to distilled out to under 160 proof. It had to be about 125 is where it generally is. This, they're hitting 160, not to 190.
Right.
So they are distilling every impurity out of it. And then they do not have to age it in a new barrel.
Right. It's whiskey.
Right. So they can age it in a used barrel. They can age it in an uncharred barrel. So
Right.
there's a lot that you can do to it that makes that flavor, and it is. It really comes across as a much lighter taste. It's very nice on the palate. It doesn't have the harsh burn or the Kentucky hug that everybody talks about. So I'm really kind of getting into light whiskeys.
Penelope came out with one.
Yes,
too.
Penelope has one
had
also.
Yeah, Penelope has
you know,
one.
it'd be interesting.
Comparison.
What if we get
comparison.
we could do a sip, six, save with lights?
That would be fun.
Yeah.
So
I might know somebody who's got some Penelope somewhere.
I mean, I'm sure it's somewhere in this house.
Fair.
I don't have a light.
And then we go to the bourbon. The bourbon, to me, is a little young.
Okay. At 3 years.
At 3 years, it's
Which I give them credit because they age statement their whiskey in under 4 years. That's pretty awesome.
right.
So, yeah.
But it still tastes really yummy. It's still very good.
Yeah.
It tastes. It has a very good finish. The upfronts. It smells great on the nose. This is a company that I could get behind.
Absolutely.
I mean, if they can stay consistent. So that's my thing is.
What's the next bottle going to be?
Right.
But, I give them credit. Like I said, with a family-run business like that, that quality assurance has got to be huge.
I'm hoping it's huge.
And so, we have seen some great products out of some young companies. So I'm really stoked to see what they can do. Jimmy, what were your thoughts on it?
For being a 2, a 3, and a 3, and like you said, they gave actual age statements on there.
Right.
So it's not under 4 or anything like that. It's a 2-year, a 3-year, and a 3-year.
And they're not lying about it. They're not
Well,
trying
they're
to sit
not
here.
masking it with marketing.
Right.
Well, that and they're not trying to rapid age it.
Right.
And
You
what's
know.
interesting to me too with it, that's why I just checked. All 3 are 88 proof.
Okay.
And they don't taste any.
They don't?
They
No.
actually taste hotter.
See,
I
they
had them
got
on 90 or so, so I think
Yeah,
they're close.
I mean,
but they weren't 100.
I thought they were in the hundreds,
Really?
honestly, at first.
Okay.
But the rye's interesting to me. Being a rye, at that 51% rye, I don't think it's a 90 or 95% rye mash bill.
Okay.
I think it's probably 60 to
Okay.
75 in there. I'd love to know what it is, just because you get the sweetness of the corn.
Sure.
So you got enough corn in there that you're overtaking those rye elements that you normally pull out. It is something, and I said it earlier. I think they're great bottles that you have around the house. You're having a party or that. It's a conversation statement.
Right, 'cause
And for
it's-
somebody like Craig,
And the price
who's-
point.
Well, the price
Exactly.
point solid at 45, give or take.
Yeah, and like I said, prices, locations, any of that, check out Smart Distributors online. We will have the link both in our posts. You can click and all of that cool stuff because that's what producer Matt does is he makes us look good on all of that. My take on all of these though is I think that the rye is the one that really stood out for me as far as unexpected flavor goes.
Yeah.
Ryes can be a little bit heavy, a little bit hearty, especially depending upon what type of rye grain and how much they had in it. What I really liked about this is this put my my nose to a bakery, and it had a very nice overall kind of earthy notes, but also a lot of sweet notes. So think when you first walk into the donut shop, that's kind of what I got off of it. Loved the nose of it. The flavor itself is very, very nice. If you are not a hardcore rye drinker, I would absolutely recommend this as a starter.
I would actually sip on that.
Yeah, completely.
I mean, because it's not overpowering.
Right.
And the best part is you don't need anything with it.
No.
And there was no water needed. There was no any of that needed. The light whiskey to me is one of the better ones that I have tasted in this market now. It hits every note that you're thinking. There is such a clean taste to it.
Yeah.
It gives you the corn notes. It gives you what you would think with the rye and the malted barley. It's all there, but it's all very smooth. It almost reminds me of taking something up that high whenever they distill it. Like I said, if you're distilling it enough times to hit 180 proof, you're taking out almost anything and everything to it, which almost reminds me of the process of Irish whiskey, except for the grains in it. But you're going to that high and then coming down, proofing it down. Pretty tasty. So the bourbon, I think that at 3 years, it absolutely delivers everything that it should. So
At 3 years, yes. Yeah,
absolutely.
I think
it is definitively a young bourbon, but it's the sweeter on the nose of the young.
You don't get the bite and methanol of a young
Exactly.
bourbon, or even the rye. None of them had that like you normally would.
Right.
So they've done a great job, in my mind, of getting it ready.
So my question is are they going to bring out an older bourbon?
I don't know. That actually could be a question to send to them. I know that they are on all the social medias. Check them out at Lukenbach Road Whiskey. Check them. Tell them that you saw it on the MMA Bourbon Appreciation Society. And again, so that is our first segment for Fresh Pours, brought to you by Smart Distributors. Check them out. They can tell you where to find all of these great whiskeys in Missouri. So let them know that you heard it on the MMA Bourbon Appreciation Society, and big thanks to them for providing us with the bottles tonight.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, definitely kudos.
we will always have more of these coming. This is going to be a new segment. The cool thing that I think we're going to do with this, though, is I knew we were going to get to this point, and after 44 shows, it has finally happened. People have asked us, what do you think of tequila? What do you think of vodka? And I think that it's time that we may branch
Okay,
a little
so
bit.
I'm going to tell you this right here, right now.
Are we? If we give you tequila, are you fighting?
Yeah, we're fighting.
So you know what? For
Straight
tequila,
up, we're fighting. I don't give a fuck, we're fighting.
I'm going to throw it out right now.
And vodka, I will not drink.
That's fair. I
We're
knew
going to
that.
throw it out now. When we do tequila, Craig's going to be replaced with Stacy.
Well, for the tastings, we will
The
definitely. do that.
tastings is fun.
Yeah.
I got really, really sick off of vodka once, and I have never been able to drink it since.
So
I can't stand to even see it or smell it.
I hate to say this, but I was the same way with tequila after a bad night being very young and a bottle of Cuervo. I have now, in my 48 years of life,
Puppy.
come back to the fact that I like tequila again. It has finally hit. My flavors have changed, and I like tequila again, and I said it.
I could probably drink
Do you know
it.
how much better I feel right now?
I could probably drink it in like a margarita.
Well,
But if it's straight shots, dude, we're fighting.
I got a couple
fair.
behind us right now that you would drink
Fair.
and not even realize it's tequila.
Well,
You're probably right. I just know me.
All right.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're going to be bringing some more of those to the mix. So, let us know. If you have a product out there, reach out to us on our Facebook page, and we
do
will be
some
happy
rums.
to throw it into the Fresh Pours.
Some rums.
We can throw some rums down, too.
Yeah.
Oh,
I like
100%.
rum.
Yeah.
I do like rum.
I can make some mean rum cocktails,
Yeah.
too. So we'll do some fun with that.
I like
So
the idea, though.
I'm stoked.
We're
about
gonna
this,
have
so.
to branch out. I mean, we can't just keep doing bourbons
Well,
constantly. I mean, it gets a little old for people.
But the funny thing is that it took 45 episodes or 44 episodes for somebody to go, do you guys like tequila? And I went, yeah. And they went, cool.
A little
Well,
too much.
Yeah, really. I mean, there's only, 2 or 3 bottles of Casa Azul and some things around
I was
this
gonna
place.
say
So,
something,
yeah.
but I better shut up.
Yeah. Well, anyway, all right. Moving
Those
on.
are my wife's, by the way.
But whatever you need to sleep at night, Jim,
Yep.
it's fine. All right.
Just like your wife bought that moonshine too, right?
Right, exactly. You blame
I
a
bought
lot-
the moonshine.
You blame a lot on her. By the way, man, I am very surprised that company did not sue us for all the
I am
stuff
too.
that we said. But by God, we had more people who agreed with us who had that moonshine than didn't. So we were also asked by another company if we would retry moonshine with theirs. So we're going to see how that
So
plays
let's
out.
see how it goes.
All right. Next, moving on, though, to our, of course, segment brought to you by Unrivaled Realty. That's right, Brad Carey at Unrivaled Realty. He will be selling your house. He will be helping you buy a house. It's all that you need for it. Unrivaled Realty. Call or text him at 314-378-6939. That is Unrivaled Realty, and they bring you tonight's Sip, Sink, and Save, which, Jim, what are we talking?
So,
You picked some good ones.
well, we start out with 5 to
You're
choose
right.
from.
This light whiskey
First
is
off,
amazing in
people,
this drink.
get your wallet out because every one of these are fucking expensive. Because Mr. Asshole here had to bring out the expensive shit.
I mean,
I threw a mix
kidding,
out.
I'm
and
kidding,
Jeremy
I'm
picked.
kidding.
But no.
why? Wait, oh, so you're going to blame me for this?
No.
You're not wrong. The light whiskey really does make this drink.
Yeah, it really does, doesn't it?
I'll
It's
take the blame for this.
like we need more bottles of that because
It's going to go
that's
quick.
good. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I really like it.
All right. Sip,
So-
Sink, and Save. Jim.
We got a pretty big variety here. We got 98.6 proof, 105, and 120. This being Midwinter's Night's Drain with annual release.
From the High
West
West Distillery.
It's a very incredible release. Every release is different with them, and it's really good.
another one,
It's
or
one of my
which one you want?
favorites. This is batch 3.
I got you.
We got to the point. Producer
like-
Matt just needs to just walk.
Like,
I know he
yeah,
doesn't
just
get on
walk
camera,
in.
but
Just walk in. We
he
got
has a
you.
microphone now.
Right.
But continue, Jim.
So
Please.
moving on then, we've talked about all 3 of these before.
Right.
Parker's Heritage is an annual release from Heaven Hill, which I think everybody's picked up as one of my favorite distilleries now.
Right.
Move
But
your arm.
also, there's a lot of charity that goes into Parker's
when,
Heritage.
When these come out at the retail, all the proceeds from it go to
Put my
ALS. In
God,
honor
someone
of
turn Matt's mic
Parker.
on. He's going to the bathroom.
Oh boy, I am not gonna lie though. I'm digging
Yeah.
this light whiskey. Anyway,
Is this,
continue.
this UK?
Well, a buddy of mine was in the UK,
Okay. Let me put my glasses on.
or
so
his
you can
wife
see it.
was, and he was asking me which bottle should he get, and I go, wait a minute, what's that Parker's Heritage? Because I've got a couple other ones, and I go, what's the price? I go, well, then when you money, have her bring it back for me. So she brought it back for me. Did you slam that?
I might have. Not gonna lie.
And then we've got
Can't get too
Whistle
drunk. I
Pig
got
Boss
work in the morning.
Hoss.
And we got flight to
Is this
catch.
6? Samurai.
Samurai Scientist was the
Scientist is
sixth release.
So
I just want the plug.
That's the whole
Wide
thing with
variety.
those is the collection of those. The
this
Magellan
is the
one
most
this year was
expensive at
interesting.
retail.
At retail,
All Boss Hogs are around 600, give
Yeah.
or take a little bit retail.
right.
This, I think, is 140 or something retail. This is 130. So,
So I mean, there's.
but it's a
there's
good
that.
variety and
Right.
That's not
flavor.
secondary. That's retail.
That's retail.
retail.
okay.
All right.
Secondary, this has none.
Yeah,
This
for some
one-
reason, Whistle Pigs do not go on secondary.
This goes
'Cause they're
$6.50 or
expensive
so.
Good
anyway.
product though.
Yeah.
And then this is 200.
Producer Matt needed a little bit of ice for his pour there,
A
so
little
a
hot there, buddy.
little bit.
That one's the,
For
that
the
was,
Midwinters?
and that's the lowest proof one.
All right.
You have a mic. You can turn it
So-
on and speak.
All right, Craig Nasello, to our man who does not like rye, who realized that he could sip the Lukenbach rye tonight. Out of all of the ones that are on our Sip, Sink, and Save tonight, Craig, give us your thoughts.
Okay, the Whistle Pig is just way too hot for me.
That is a fair statement. It is a hot product.
100.
It
120
felt
proof.
like I had acid reflux
Mm-hmm.
the whole time. I sipped it. But the taste was good. It tasted great. I just, oof, it's too hot for me. Which was this?
Parker's
The
Heritage.
Parker's Heritage was really sweet. Really sweet. It tasted like a mixed drink.
It really does.
It does. It
That
tastes
is
like
a
a mix-
great way to put that.
It tastes like a mixed drink. But it was really fucking good too. And I don't like rye at all. And then we go with Midnight's Dram.
Close enough.
It was drama earlier. So
Yeah,
that was-
drama earlier.
We got better.
Dram.
It's not there's no
Midwinter
drama
Night's
anymore.
Dram. Okay, I'm sorry.
You
Leave
got
me
it.
alone. I can't speak. I don't know English. Anyway, very nice, very easy, something I could sip on. So that's going to be my sip. It's going to be my save, just because it's so sweet. It's almost too sweet for me. And I like sweet stuff. And this is going to be my sink just because it's just too hot for me. Plain and simple. It tasted, flavor-wise, it tasted well. But when I tried to drink it or swallow it, it was like I had acid reflux. And I just can't do it. Oops, sorry.
I mean, I know that you're drinking water, Jim, but there you go too. So.
Yeah.
All right.
I just want to put my finger in the water.
Boom,
Fair.
boom, boom.
So sip, sink, and save is.
Sip, sink, save.
All right.
Good call. All right. Jim Range.
It's your honor first.
Oh, okay, fair. Okay, so
Well,
I
he
pulled the
picked them.
3 out.
Jim's
so-
going deep in this one. Then, all right.
He picked. He had to one up everybody.
No,
So
it wasn't.
I'm a fan of all 3 of these products, and I find that there is a definitive differentials in taste in this, and this is one of those that money doesn't mean jack squat in the world of bourbon, and I'm
Especially
sorry,
Jimmy Range's
it
house,
doesn't.
evidently.
So these bottles, number one, I love the idea of what Parker's Heritage is all
Matt
about.
caught it.
The charities that it
I
goes
got
to, I'm not a fan of the fact that they're going to be, whatever they are on the secondary market.
And you stopped me on a couple in secondary market
Because-
because of that.
They're
Exactly.
too high.
Well,
They're too
Well,
expensive.
but they're
the
charity
people,
bottles.
the charity isn't getting the money from people.
Oh,
buying-
I didn't know that.
No,
Yeah.
on the secondary they
Yeah.
don't. 'Cause somebody's already bought it.
Yeah, somebody already
So when that
bought
goes
it.
from 150 to $600,
Yeah.
that 450 is in somebody's pocket.
Right.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Exactly. So I'm not a fan of that end of it. I will say though, going flavor-wise, I do love the idea. To me, Parker's Heritage is almost one of those drinks that if you put 3 drops of bitters in it, you could call it an old-fashioned.
Yeah.
It's very
yeah,
close.
I mean, you really could.
Yeah. The biggest thing that I do think that I love what
Damn, now I
High
wanna
West
try
puts
that.
out. Absolutely. What High West puts out with the Midwinter Night's Dram every
Gotta
year,
find a
it
bottle.
has become kind of a very big chaser
found
for a
a
lot
bottle
of
right here.
new bourbon buyers. With that, though, taste alone, I am going to sip the Parker's Heritage because, again, it is one of the nicest, sweetest ryes that you will ever have. Plays back to, it's got a lot of red velvet cake to it, man.
Yeah, it does.
A lot of red velvet cake. Like I said, throw a little bit of bitters. It can almost be an old fashioned. I am going to save the Midwinter's Night's Dram. It is a limited release. It's not a very expensive
I
bottle.
honestly didn't think about that.
But it is an incredibly tasty
Well,
bottle.
with batch 3, it is a little bit more expensive.
Batch 3 and batch 10, there is a pretty big difference between the two also. But,
Do you have both?
oh,
Maybe.
silly.
8 and 9.
Yeah.
I was just wanting to see.
The
if
bad
you
part
had
was
it.
is I had a 3, I had an 8, I had a 9, and
He
I had a
drank
10.
2 threes.
And I drank 2 3s. They're like $800 a bottle on the secondary now, and I drank 2 of them.
Oh, that happened.
You know, it is what it is. All right, so I'm going to sip the Parker's Heritage. I am going to save the Midwinter Night's Dram, and I am going to sink the Boss Hog, believe it or not. The Boss Hog is one of those that it needs something. It needs water, and it needs about 6 to 8 drops,
It's
if
super
not
hot.
more. At 120 proof, it's very, very hot.
And that's what I don't get because at 120 proof, I've had 120 proof bourbon and it doesn't taste nowhere near that hot.
You can see we still put a big
Well, I
dent in
mean-
that bottle over the.
Well,
over
yeah.
the
I
time
threw
I've
you
had it.
145 proof rye, and everybody
Yeah.
seemed to love it because it really snuck up on. And then Matt drank the rest of the jar, but that's fine. So all right, Jim Range, close us out.
So surprisingly,
On to the next segment.
no, it doesn't happen often. Jeremy and I are aligned on this one.
You're gonna
Really?
You're gonna sink that?
As much as I love Whistle Pig, it's my go-to rye.
You called that out as your last bottle to
No,
buy.
I said the 10 was. I did not say the.
But still,
Wow, he actually went there.
ladies and gentlemen,
Compared to
color me
this and this,
dumbfounded with this.
when we look at just these 3 alone, my sipper has got to be just because it's so good.
It is.
I mean, you can sip it like it is. You can do whatever you want with it. I mean, Heaven Hill got it right with this bottle, with this release. They really did.
Oh, that's Heaven Hill.
Yeah, it's a heaven.
Yeah,
Hill
it's
I
one of
didn't
the
know
Parker,
that.
that's
Yes.
Parker's Heritage is Heaven
Oh,
Hill.
why didn't you tell me that? Because I don't know all that
I did when I
bullshit.
spoke
No, I know,
about.
but no,
Parker's Heritage.
Because
Okay.
actually, we know that you like Parker's Heritage, so it's easier to not tell you until the end. So then you're not
Well,
playing.
Now
we
I'm
know
fucking
you
wanna
like the
change
Heaven Hill
everything.
27.
Now I want to change everything. Well, anyway, sorry.
The Midwinter Night's Dram, the flavor profile on it is just, oh my God. And it's one of those that you think about saving it. I'm not thinking about saving it to mix it or do anything else with people. It's, taste this. It's a bottle you can hand to somebody, they're going to go, oh shit.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
then the
Now-
Whistle Pig, in 90% of the sips and saves, that's going to be a save or a sip. Against these two, though,
I wholeheartedly
it
am with you.
I mean, it's a flip of the coin across the board on any of these positions.
They're all good.
Right.
They really
all
are.
good.
But this is just incredible. This is phenomenal. And this is damn good.
Yes.
This is just too hot for me. That's the only thing that's a problem. with
No,
it.
I
It's
understand.
just too hot
Absolutely.
for me.
Well, when I opened it tonight and I took a drink, it's like, God, I forgot to bite on that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, it has
120
a
proof.
it
And I
has a
said
bu-
it's 120 proof or so. And I
But
looked.
we've had hotter.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't taste. That doesn't have this bite.
But
No,
it's got the
it
ride
does.
too, is what it does. You
Right,
got the
but,
ride
yeah.
plus the 120 proof.
But that thing will kick your ass.
Yeah.
100%. All right, guys, let us know in the comments, which one do you like the best? Which one would you sip? Which one would you sink? And which one would you save? I think producer Matt, though, I think he's all about the Parker's Heritage also as the keeper and the sipper, right? Yeah, there we
If
go.
you can find this
You
in a
ready for a
bar,
pour, Matt?
which it is still out there, pay the price for it.
Oh, yeah, it's...
I will say you're going to pay a little bit more,
Yeah.
but do yourself a favor.
And pick it
If
up.
you like a
it
rye,
really is good.
get a
Yeah.
pour in a bar if it's there. And I know
Absolutely.
there's some that's still out there.
Oh,
Trust
yeah,
me when I
completely.
say this, I would go buy that right now if I could find it. And I'm not a rye guy.
Yeah,
And
100%.
it's that good.
Yeah.
It really
100%.
is that good.
All right, big thanks again to Brad Carey at Unrivaled Realty. Again, check them out, unrivaledrealty.com, for all your buying and selling real estate needs. All right, moving into the world of combat sports, and we had a ton of it this past weekend with,
PFL,
well, there was a lot. There was,
UFC. What else was there?
well, but I mean, the UFC was really, a lot of things happened in the UFC this week.
How about that knockout?
How about Israel Adesanya coming back and taking the title away from Pereira via knockout after being down probably 3 rounds to 1.
3-1, I think, yeah.
I know you didn't get to see it.
I was at Supercross. I
Yeah,
don't know.
no, I mean, hey, and that's no problem.
But that knockout was just, oh my God. What was he out for? 30 seconds?
Oh, yeah. And so the biggest thing that I want to talk about this is,
You run that shit back.
well, that was one of them, is does this now become
A trilogy?
a trilogy?
He said no. He goes,
Yeah,
yeah,
he's-
giving it to him.
I think Peralta said the same thing. I think he's going to move up to 205.
That was the big
Yeah.
rumors. Let him go up to 205, and then Izzy takes on a couple others. The big thing, though, that I found that was just, and it wasn't really broadcast a lot. So back whenever Pereira and Izzy fought in kickboxing, Pereira knocked Izzy out. And at the time, Pereira's son was in the cage, or in the ring with him. And as Izzy was laying on the ground, the son, little guy, right? Doubles up, falls over like he got knocked out, right next to him,
sorry.
right? No,
It's not funny.
but it's funny.
It's fucking hilarious.
It was really funny.
It's awesome for a kid to pull that shit.
Right.
So, what does Israel Adesanya do as this poor child's father is laying out on the canvas? He walks over to that side of the cage, points at his kid, and falls flat on the ground doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, well, here's the bad thing. You've already been known twice by that man.
You have 3 times, I think, isn't it?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, he's beat him 3 times?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
Two
no.
in kickboxing.
2 in
one
kickboxing, 1 in MMA.
Oh, I didn't know
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. So,
And if they run that shit back, I don't, dude,
they're not going to.
that guy's good. I didn't realize. And
Both
didn't
of them are. Both of
Well,
them
no,
are.
both of them are good. Don't get me wrong.
But the fact that he landed that punch when he's against the cage,
Well, you
with
know
everything
what?
landed on him,
But yeah, but
he
think of,
stared that down like a boxer on the ropes.
completely.
well, it's like when Pitbull knocked out the German guy,
Yes, I remember what you're talking about.
in
But
St.
yeah,
Louis. God, what was his name?
dude, that was a great
He's like one of the
fight,
nicest guys ever. I can't remember his name.
That was a great fight because, yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Daniel Weichel.
The big one,
There
the
you
other
go,
one, though, that
thank you.
came out of this is the retirement now of the original BMF. Well, not really, because we owned a BMF before that.
Yes.
But the BMF title holder, Jorge Masvidal, has called it quits.
Wow.
After that fight, he said that if I can't hang with these young guys anymore, he is out. My question to everybody in the room and in the comments, does Jorge Masvidal make it to the Hall of Fame?
I think so.
Really?
I think so.
Why?
Dude, he's got a ton. That dude's got a ton of fights. He come from absolutely fighting in someone's backyard.
Well, he came from the Kimbo Slice days.
Right. I mean, the dude's a straight
He's
killer.
a brawler.
Dude was a killer for a long time.
Do you guys remember when he fought Steve Berger in Bodog fights?
Bodog fights. Yeah.
Bodog fights. So the thing is every one of you people who are under, what do you think, 35, 40, aren't going to know what Bodog fights are.
Or Steve Berger.
One of my
That's
first
true. Well,
fights.
Unless you're from St. Louis.
Well, no, but the sad part is because Steve Berger fought, Bodog fights, UFC. He was all over the place, but it's the old school days, and there's a lot of us who are from the old school of, I loved Bodog.
How about let's just say we're fucking old, okay?
We really are.
I mean, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
On that Fast Damn Sports program. Right?
Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, in fact, I was giving Steve shit the other day.
Yeah.
On
I haven't
Facebook.
talked to him in forever.
He's
Oh,
a
he's
good dude.
still
I love
around
Steve.
St. Louis, still trains, still
Yeah.
still coaches.
She still got his
Was
Steve's
an
one of my
amazing
favorite
fighters.
dudes. He's so much
So,
fun. Such a nice guy.
But okay, back to my question though. Jimmy,
2 + 2
you
is
shook
4.
your head no. Why does Jorge Masvidal not make it into the Hall of Fame?
There's a difference between having a lot of wins and fought a lot of fights and that. Is he one of the best ever? Which when I look at the Hall of Fame, you're one of the best ever.
Yeah, but you can go toss a fucking coin up in the air and look at some of those early guys. Do you think Tito Ortiz deserves to be in the UFC Hall of Fame?
Absolutely.
I don't.
Why?
Because I don't think Tito Ortiz was all that great.
He was a
good.
groundbreaking pioneer.
He was
That's the
good
difference.
for
of
that
what he did.
era.
But that era is what made mixed
I
martial
understand
arts.
that, but he's
the
still
thing
didn't
that brought
impress
the
me.
thing that brought people to watching mixed martial arts was Chuck and Tito arguing on ESPN.
Technically, what brought people in was Forrest Whitaker and Stephan Bonner.
Forrest Griffin, not Forrest Whitaker.
Or Forrest
Whitaker's
Griffin,
an
yeah,
actor.
Forrest Griffin.
Have another drink.
I just watched the movie with Forrest Whitaker earlier. I was watching what was that? Final Contact or with First Contact or some shit like that on Amazon.
But
Yeah.
okay, I understand, but that was the original. People knew their names.
I understand that. I
okay.
get that.
I have
But-
to agree with Jimmy, though, that I don't think that Masvidal has the career that makes him to the Hall of Fame. Producer Matt, thumbs up, thumbs down. Agreed. All right. Producer DJ K-Pop. Does Jorge Masvidal make it into the Hall of Fame? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
She doesn't even know
Oh,
who that
she
is.
does. Dang. Okay. All right.
Wow.
Interesting. All right. She's legit.
Street Fighter Hall of Fame.
I could see that. I could see that with
I
the.
just-
But to me,
Dude,
he can be in with Kimbo, and Kimbo was a great guy. Rest in peace. Kevin Ferguson, you were a good dude. Okay. All right. This leads me, though, to the question that we're having this argument back and forth. Is the UFC capable of making stars anymore?
Yeah.
Because Jorge Masvidal was a star. He was a name that people understood. Nate Diaz, Conor McGregor. The only one that I really see now in the coming up that has the potential for star power is Sean O'Malley. Because of...
What about Patty Pimblett?
There's potential.
it gets
I don't know if
silent.
he'll take it to the next level. He does a good job promoting himself.
He does.
I see Sugar
He
Shane
gets out there,
O'Malley
he can
doing
hold
it.
up.
I see him being a big star if he gets the right fights.
But that's the whole thing. Guys like Jorge Masvidal would fight anybody. But that
And that's the thing. That's why I said he needs to be in the
Okay,
UFC Hall of Fame.
I'm not
because
saying-
he fought everybody. It didn't matter. It was like Nate Diaz. They fought everybody. They didn't give a shit who it was. You pay them, they're gonna show up, and they're gonna fucking scrap.
Fair. All right.
Period.
I don't know. I don't see. There isn't the George St. Pierre's, the Matt Hugheses, the
There's not,
household
no.
names anymore. You
There's
know.
too many fights to make that happen. I think that's part of the problem. We
So is
talked
that a
about it
good thing
before.
or a bad thing?
I think it's a bad thing because you don't allow your top people to really get the focus on them. When you've got 20 fights, 30 fights a month, how does your top people get the focus?
Producer Matt, give us your thoughts.
They have some big stars that I don't know Like Volkanovski, why isn't he a bigger star?
But he's not a big star. If you walk down the street right now and ask somebody, do you know who George St. Pierre is? Probably 60 to 70% would still know that name if they're sports people. You ask who Volkanovski is, they're all going to look at you like it's some guy that's fighting in the Ukrainian war.
He's got the pedigree and the resume.
He may have the pedigree, but does he have that it factor? Who's got the it factor right now, Craig?
Johnny Eblin.
Fair.
Johnny
If we're gonna go all over mixed
across?
martial
Oh,
arts.
you didn't say which one,
No, that's
motherfucker.
okay. I said I said UFC. Does it still make star power?
UFC, the star power. Right now, honestly, Sugar Shane O'Malley. That's about the only person I can think of right now. I mean, in this new crop coming
In
up.
the upcoming, you're talking, right?
Yes, coming up. Now, again, if you go back to a little bit, now you go with Israel. Go with Gilbert Burns is starting to make a name for himself.
Rachmanov.
Who?
Rachmanov.
Who the fuck is that?
He wrote a concerto.
He's like 18-0 with 18 finishes.
Never heard of him.
He just finished.
But here's the problem. We're in the sport world. He's never heard of that guy.
Never fucking heard of him. Ever. Once.
And that's the problem. There isn't enough.
You still got John Jones coming. You still got.
I think Jones coming back.
Does Jones get an asterisk?
Why?
Picograms.
No.
I didn't even say that's why I said
This
it.
is not
He
Major League.
punched a fucking pregnant lady. I mean, let's
This
be
is not
honest.
Major League Baseball. There's not going to be any asterisk.
But no,
But Jones coming back, I think, is going to help reignite
he made Cyril Game look
the
like
top
a fucking
levels
kid.
He did.
of UFC.
He did.
Also, can we take a minute that whenever the subtitles run and we swear, it bleats it out?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. I didn't realize that.
Fuck him.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Okay, anyway. All right, moving on. As we mentioned, our drink tonight, of course, the Brown Derby, but with pineapple juice in honor of Mr. Craig Nasello heading off to Hawaii. Craig, talk us through the Bellator Hawaii cards, because there's 2 fights that weekend.
Yeah, give me a second.
We've got to look them up. Can't do this off the top of your head.
No.
Well, he doesn't play to do a script like you.
I don't have fucking notes wrote down on like 2 little girls.
Yeah, what you guys
yeah.
don't get to see is there are iPads all around us. That's how we see what
I don't
we're
do
doing,
that shit.
So
we got Liz
Mine's right in
Carmouche.
the open. They can see me looking at it.
So Friday night we got Liz Carmouche and Deanna Bennett too
okay.
for the 125-pound title. I think that's going to be a good fight. Deanna got hurt, tore something in her hip or something. Their first fight. I think it's going to be a little bit different fight this time, just because if everybody stays healthy, of course, you know how that goes.
Oh yeah.
That night, actually Friday night, is free for the troops. We always do a show on Friday night for the troops over there in Hawaii because there's
That's
a big
awesome.
That's awesome.
Pearl Harbor and
Very
everything's
cool.
over there. So that's always a good time. And then on Saturday night is the conclusion of the bantamweight tournament.
Oh, very
Patsy
cool.
Mix and Rufion Stotts, and I am excited for that fight.
That will be a great fight.
There's been a lot of shit talk.
I'm also really looking forward to seeing Alimale McFarland fight.
Emily McFarland's fighting.
It's always fun when she fights at home, too.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
crowd's behind her and that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude, you guys ever get to watch her walk out? It's so fun. I mean, she does a
can't-
little bit different one every time, but
It's got to be very
it's
cool
very
to be there live.
intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
it's very cool. And
Well,
she's
Are we
fighting.
going to go cover it?
I mean, I would love to go to Hawaii, but
I mean, you know,
yeah. Well, all right.
I don't think you're gonna get away for 2 weekends in a
Yeah,
row.
exactly. All right, next up, and I can't believe we are going this route, but it was announced this week
God, I don't care.
that
don't even know which one we're
one
talking
I already see. I can already know.
that one Jake Paul has a new opponent for another fight coming up in a couple of months in Texas, of all places. And that's right, he is taking on, are you ready, ladies and gentlemen, Nate Diaz. It is official.
Wolf tickets, baby.
Wolf tickets. You know what's sad? No one under the age of 40 knows what that means either from the Nick Diaz brothers.
Sure.
They don't.
Dude, I actually seen an episode of Tommy Toehold recently. and
Oh.
I,
Oh, God.
I-
God, I laughed my ass off. I haven't seen one in a while.
Well, yeah, I'm glad he's actually back making, so I'll have to send him a message. I could get him to call in, and that would be funny because then Tommy could talk to us about whiskey, which would be hilarious.
Is he a whiskey guy, too?
Yeah.
Let's
So
do it.
anyway, Paul and Diaz.
Jake Paul and Nate Diaz.
I
Craig
hope-
Nasello, who wins?
God, I hope Diaz whoops his fucking ass. Good Lord, please let him beat him.
In a pure boxing match, Jim Range, who wins?
Well, aren't they going to do an MMA match afterwards?
No, it's just boxing.
Oh.
There is no secondary to it. Continue, Jim Range.
As much as Nate's a striker, I don't think he trains in boxing gloves. And those heavier gloves are
Oh,
going
I
to
think
tire
he
him up.
does, but
He may. I may be wrong on this one.
Okay, no,
But I
continue.
was right on the last
About
one.
to
You
walk
weren't.
off.
I mean, you're not wrong, and because you are, as I look at it, you are the boxing authority of the three of us.
But the first thing I want to say
He's
is
the only one that likes boxing out of the
I
three.
love
that's fine.
boxing. How
But-
many?
Nate finally gets his payday.
I'm just talking shit.
I'm going to throw
Fair.
that out.
All right.
Kudos to Nate. You're
Getting
getting
it.
your payday. It's
Yeah,
about damn
I mean,
time.
fuck
And
yeah, good for
it
Nate.
sucks it had to be outside UFC, but you're going to get your payday.
Well,
You've
he-
earned it.
He got paid. He got paid when he fought Connor a couple times.
It's not
Oh,
like this, though.
Yeah, this
no,
is giant money.
this is good money. Yeah.
Yeah, this is legit money for a fighter at that level who I wish MMA could get to.
Well-
That's the only reason I'm saying that.
Yeah, I did hear producer Matt, who wins it. Jake Paul. Okay, all right. Producer Matt takes Jake Paul. Producer DJ K-pop, who wins it?
It worked last time, Jake Paul.
Wow.
Who you going with?
I'm gonna go with Jake Paul. Anyway, okay, so all right, and finally tonight, which one? He's going to the Parker's Heritage. And
Now I gotta
finally
buy
tonight,
another bottle.
my gotcha for this tonight. I don't even know if I call this one a gotcha, but this one also happened this week. God, we're gonna mention this from my old show Down Goes Frazier days of talking about pro wrestling. The WWE and the UFC have basically merged this week, where Endeavor, the company that owns the UFC, has now bought the WWE. Also, the big thing that comes out of this is Vince McMahon has retaken creative control over the WWE, and on their org chart actually ranks higher than Dana White does. So
Where's
with
Triple H rank on it?
Triple H got demoted. He is
See, this was a power play by Vince
Vince.
selling it to get Triple H and Stephanie out of his way.
Who the fuck are you two talking about?
Matt knows, don't you?
So, producer Matt, you are the biggest pro wrestling person here. Give us
Yeah.
the explanation of what
Here,
actually
you come
went
over
down.
here. You come
No,
over
you're
here.
good because
You
he won't
take
come
my
in-
spot.
He
No,
won't
we're
come in
good.
front of
He
the
won't come in.
camera.
So the WWE has been shopping buyers for 6 months, a year, 2 years. They've had the Saudis, they've had Qataris, they've had everybody, Comcast,
Guitaris. What the hell is Guitaris?
Qatari.
Oh, Qatari. I said Guitaris. I was like, what the fuck?
The Endeavor allowed him to stay in power, and that was
Right.
kind of what he was looking
Okay,
for.
Well, I
So-
thought he stepped down because he didn't he impregnate a intern or something.
Several.
Okay, so is
I'm
this
just
whole
asking.
thing-
I don't know.
So is this
he
whole
did.
thing with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon a work? Is this real? Like, were they really like?
Or is
because
it
that's
a work?
family.
Is it a
just-
work?
That's his son-in-law. And
Are
his
we in
daughter.
kayfabe at the
think
time?
he-
I
I
mean-
think he's
Are we what?
okay with him.
So kayfabe is a wrestling term. You don't break kayfabe. That was if you broke the fourth wall.
Yeah. Keeping the
The allure
act up.
alive.
Jesus Christ! I really got to fucking.
I learned all this from the Down Goes
Where's
Frazier
Frazier?
days, and I'm like,
Good Lord.
this is the one thing that Jason
All
Frazier did
I
for me.
remember is watching, like, listening to Bubba the Love Sponge on Howard Stern years ago, and them talking about doing works or
Fair.
work or something. That's all I remember. And we have dogs in the background going
Right,
crazy.
because we bring dogs to the studio.
Fair
it's
enough.
fine.
They live in
All
the
right.
studio.
They live in
But so does this, Matt, or anyone else, give Vince McMahon any control over the UFC? Do you think?
I don't think so. I think they're going to keep them as separate.
They're two separate
How
entities.
in the hell
based
will
on
that
kind-
work?
There might be
How?
some crossover.
They've set them up as
Well-
two separate entities within Endeavor.
But,
No,
but
I'm talking about
there could
him,
be-
Vince McMahon having any power in the UFC.
Why
You think
would
Dana White would let that fucking happen? Are
do
you stupid?
Dana
So-
White's under him in the org chart, like for real.
Vince is owns more of the company than Dana does. Dana can't say shit.
The theory is that UFC's better at sponsors, and getting sponsors and
Right.
maintaining those relationships, which they're going to help WWE do. And WWE's better at like just live production,
The marketing.
Yeah.
and the marketing and everything.
Yeah,
like
because
that.
has anybody ever been to a live UFC event?
Oh,
Yes.
It fucking sucks. It's boring.
It's very
It's boring.
TV oriented.
It's boring.
Whereas
It's all
if you
on
go,
TV.
and I hate to say this, if you go to a WWE event, which I have been to a few,
Imagine that.
thanks, buddy. They are very well done for the fans inside the audience, along with the televisions.
Dude, I
So-
can't remember last time I seen one, let alone went to one. Are you ready for another one? Are you
Very
sure?
fair. All right.
Don't make me call
Okay,
your
ladies
wife.
and gentlemen,
Get
it
permission.
has been a great 44th episode tonight. Again, Craig and I are off to
Next Level Fight Club.
Next Level Fight Club in
in
North
North
Carolina.
Carolina this
suck.
weekend.
We really do. It's
Hey, dude, I told you what our flight was. There's
Yeah,
a
you could've-
fucking there's seats left.
So,
We
but,
leave at 4:30 tomorrow.
yeah, so check us out. We will be posting links where you can watch us on that. It'll be a lot of fun. And then Craig, of course, off to Bellator Hawaii after
Next week.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
must
next
be rough. for you now.
Thursday. It sucks, man. It's a rough job to have.
Yeah, it's a
It
really
really
tough.
is.
So.
Can you see it?
All
you see it
right.
in my face, right?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we again, big thank you to our sponsors, Brad Carey at Unrivaled Realty for our Sip, Sync, and Save, and to Smart Distributors tonight
Just throwing
for...
this out there for smart distributors. I really like Bland's.
All right, go check out
Look in the camera.
Lukenbach Road Whiskey.
Why are you getting
Shoot
it
them
free?
a message for our Fresh Pour segment. Again, shoot them a message. They could tell you what stores to get it at. We will post the link for them. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for another episode here at the MMA Bourbon Appreciation Society.
Cheers, everybody.
See you guys.